Hey mom friends, this is Functional Medicine for Moms, where we look at motherhood through the lens of functional medicine. I'm your host, Kelly Moline, a pharmacist with advanced training in functional medicine. From pregnancy and postpartum to everyday parent life, we talk root causes, natural solutions, and real stories from our own family's journey, plus conversations with experts along the way.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, are you ready?
She says yes.
That mic doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Here you go. Okay. Welcome back to another episode, Functional Medicine for Moms. I'm Kelly Moline, licensed pharmacist, functional medicine consultant, wife, and new mom.
And I'm Landon Moline, Kelly's husband and father of little baby Danielle here, who is with us right now.
Who's with us? So if you watch YouTube, you are in for a treat because she's in it, and at least for part of it until your mom comes and gets her, or go put her down again. Okay, so
We
funny
will see.
enough, from last time we did an episode, thank you. Last time we did an episode, we got a request to do our journey on sleep and what like sleep training looked like for us and how we finally got our baby sleeping through the night, because I said how she was finally sleeping, and you never ever say that your baby is sleeping, because they will stop sleeping.
Yep. And it's just kind of ironic because we're doing this episode at night.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how sleep training is going. She's up.
She thinks that's funny. So this is our journey, but not this is how to do it. If you're looking for perfection, this isn't it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But we're not about perfection. That has never been our goal. So here's what our life looks like.
I mean, I'd be shocked if anyone is like, bats 1,000 on getting their baby to sleep every night at the same time all night through the night.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So first we'll talk about how our weeks went. Okay, first, actually, I don't think I've ever actually said our new rhythm to the podcast since I've started doing the interviews. So what this kind of has started looking like since interviewing and since you've started your new job is I'm interviewing experts and I'm releasing those episodes about every other week, and then we are recording about every other week as well. So it gives you a little bit of a break with recording with me, and I get to interview some experts in the parenthood, functional medicine, health expert type of people, and I love learning along the way. You know, I'm a researcher and I love listening to podcasts myself, so to be able to actually ask the questions that I don't hear a lot of, I think is really fun too.
yeah, I think it's less about giving me a break and more because you have a lot of fun doing the interviews, and I feel like every time you do one, you come away from it and are excited about like the new information you learned. And so I think you have a lot of fun with those. So it's fun. And I think people like listening to them. They're about good topics that people can learn a lot about. So yeah.
Yeah. And then I think people still like the parenthood type of podcast too. So we're a little less functional medicine heavy on our episodes now, and talking more about parenthood and marriage, faith, all of those things that we get.
And I think we naturally just we're talking about, when we're talking about parenthood and stuff too, it's almost like the application of the functional medicine side. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's kind of the new rhythm. And so we may have a little bit more to talk about since there's 2 weeks in between our recording for the most part. So how were your 2 weeks, Landon?
Well, let me think here. She's going to need something to play with. If the mic is out of her reach, that's great. Okay. Yeah, my 2 weeks have been great. Started a new job recently, so I'm still kind of learning that. I mentioned that in the last time I was on the podcast. So they've been busy, but it's been fun, challenging to get into like a new routine, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
I don't have much more to say than that.
Nothing.
No.
Well, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. My mom came to town for a week, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
She got to spend a lot of time with Danielle, and we went to the art museum. I really wanted to go to the science museum in Dallas, but we figured that once Danielle's a toddler, that might be a little bit more exciting for her to experience. And I was like, you know what she can do right now as a baby? Look at pictures. So that's what we did. We went to the art museum, and that was fun. And we had Halloween, and we had a lot of things going on.
Your recall is so much better than mine. I can't remember what I did yesterday, so.
I wrote some of the things down. What did I? Oh,
yeah, Halloween was fun. We didn't do a lot on Halloween stuff. We did dress up this year, as far as in like a little family dress up sesh with. We went as Peter Pan and Wendy, and Danielle was Tinkerbell. She was the cutest. But yeah, we kind of dressed up and went just out in the town, had a drink on a patio, basically.
Yep.
When your mom was here.
Yep.
So that was fun.
Got to enjoy the nice weather.
What?
And then that same weekend was daylight savings time, which, okay, so funny enough, so I knew daylight savings time was coming, and the week before daylight savings time, Danielle started like staying up later and waking up later. So I was just like, I'm not even going to touch it and see if she just adjusts to daylight savings time by herself. And sure enough, it worked. And so I don't think it'll ever be that easy again. And thankfully we haven't had a lot of bad mornings, but she's just grabbing her mic.
Trying to.
Okay. Should we have your mom take her now?
I think she's it's gonna be a little disruptive.
Okay, I'll text her. Anyway, keep talking, Landon.
Keep talking. Okay. About. I'm too worried she's gonna fall off the couch, so. She's definitely giving your notes a run for their money, though.
Yeah.
Crinkle them up.
Oh my goodness.
Can you grab her? I was gonna play some elevator music while we were gone, but
Yeah. Do do
for
do,
Kristen.
do, do,
No.
do.
Not like that.
Oh, not Jeopardy music.
No.
Okay. Thanks, Kristen, for editing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back now. We are now baby free, and your mom has her. So, thankfully that works out.
Yeah, that didn't last as long as we thought it would.
No, well, I didn't have high hopes, but that's okay.
She's a pretty active girl. What are you gonna do?
We actually, so she was sleeping for like an hour, and we kind of got ready to record, and you literally said, "Okay, are you ready?" And she started crying on the monitor.
Yeah, it's like she heard me.
Yeah, you're like, did I say that too loud? Yes, you did.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, okay, getting back into it. Yeah, we're, I think, kind of doing the same old, same old. She's still 9 months. And she climbed all the stairs today in her house.
She did accomplish that feat.
16
so proud.
stairs.
16 stairs.
By herself. I was right behind her. So
I would hope so. That would be very dangerous.
Yeah.
If you weren't.
She's an explorer. Yeah. And then, and I was talking about daylight savings. So we had daylight savings. I think every parent hates daylight savings time because babies and kids don't understand that there is a time change. Also dogs, because dogs, at least our dogs, eat at a certain time, so they've always been wanting food at the wrong times whenever it's daylight savings time.
Hmm.
Okay, but now we have a baby, and so a little worried about that. And last time I talked about, I was like, yep, she's finally sleeping through the night. And I didn't even want to say it because I knew it was a bad thing to say, because that's when they start waking up again. And sure enough, that exact night, she woke up 3 times. And I'm like, oh, what did I do? But it's okay. She slept through the night the past 2 nights, and she may wake up tonight. She may sleep. We'll see. It's just always hit or miss. I think if she wakes up 1 or 2 times a night, I'm like cool with it now, and can function. If it's 3 or more, I feel like that's a lot
Yeah, I
for me.
think there's so many variables that go into that can affect how long she sleeps or if she sleeps through the night. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what she did during the day, how many naps she got in during the day, and how much sleep she got, or how worn out she is, or sometimes like on the days that like you work at the pharmacy, she tends to be so excited that you're home that she doesn't really want to go to sleep.
That's true.
So there's those things and all that. But I mean, do you want to talk about like how I guess we've set up her room and the kind of I guess sleep
I
schedule we try to have her on?
I want to start from the beginning. Like, let's set the scene. What do you remember when she wasn't sleeping, when we started trying to get her to sleep through the night, what that was like, what you were feeling, kind of until she was on a better routine and started sleeping, and what variables do go into it.
Okay.
Okay? So, oh, I keep touching the mic. Okay. So, I will say that again, this is kind of what we've done, but it's not a how to. Obviously, our baby did not go to sleep tonight like she was supposed to. So, nothing is perfect, but we're not aiming for perfect. This is just how we did it. Okay, so I remember at first people were always asking, is your baby sleeping through the night yet? Or is she sleeping through the night? Like all the time.
I feel
Do
like they
people
asked that really early too, because I was like, no,
Yeah,
not even
especially in
close.
like retrospect, I'm like, why were they asking me that? But it was like very early. I would say within a few weeks of having her, people are like, okay, is she sleeping yet? I'm like, no, is she supposed to?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't remember it being that early, but I would say after like a month of having her home,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, we were getting that question, I guess. So yeah, pretty close. But yeah, no, we weren't even close to that kind of
Yeah.
sleep.
And so I have a couple friends who have babies a little bit before me. And so one of my friends said, I think she was like 6 or 8 weeks. And then she started sleeping through the night. And I think everyone has a different definition what sleeping through the night means. Is that 8 hours? Is that 12 hours? Is that 6 hours? And
Mm.
I think later, and I just assumed people are trying to get to like a 7 to 7 schedule. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl's sleeping 12 hours through the night. Later, when talking to her, she's like, oh yeah, anything over 6, I just count it as sleeping through the night.
Mm.
So in my head, it was like so different than what was actually happening. But yeah, and then we had our baby, like I said, 5 weeks early. So everything is like then shifted. So you have to add like 5 more weeks of the newborn trenches, basically,
Mm-hmm.
where they are getting up pretty much every couple hours throughout the night.
Yes.
Where there was like definitely a point where I'm like, if she would just wake up every 3 hours, I'd be so happy, because she was waking up like every hour and a half to 2 hours, and I was completely dead. And that was really hard. But then it eventually got just like a little bit longer. And then we would like jump to a 4 hour span or something like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel like a new woman.
Yeah, I think because we started in the NICU and then when we left, we were already so exhausted. That first month was just like survival
Mm-hmm.
on sleep deprivation. So, and there's not much you can do because like we gotta feed her, and we gotta, I mean, especially for you, you have to like get up and breastfeed her, and so we got a little bit of a system down for that. But I mean, we were getting up every hour or every couple hours for a while there, and then so when we got to like 4 hours, it was a game changer. It felt amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but we did some co-sleeping. We set the bed for that, and that really helped. We got to
Yes.
that point.
So my doula, when she came over for our postpartum appointment, she asked how we were all doing, and like everything was pretty good except for like the sleep situation, and we're completely exhausted. And she's like, "Girl, this is how people get by. No one wants to say it." And every mom will be like, if they're surviving, they'll be like, "Oh yeah." And they might say I'm co-sleeping, and then the other mom is like, "Oh yeah, me too." They just won't say it out loud.
Mm.
So
There's like a negative connotation around it, like it's
yeah.
because it's considered dangerous.
Yeah, so if you're interested in doing that, I would definitely look into the Safe Sleep 7, which you can find online on like how to do it safely, because my doula said too, so many people end up doing it, but you don't want to end up doing it when you're completely exhausted or end up doing it by accident where you're just like falling asleep. But setting it up safely ahead of time can be really helpful. So then, because that was a game changer for us. Like the first night having her bed sharing with us, we were able to, or I was able to get just like a few more moments of rest, or just like see her and make sure she was good. Like when she's like making a lot of noise, because newborns are very noisy at night, so I could see like, is she sleeping, is she fine, and then just go back to sleep rather than like get up, go check the bassinet or whatever that is.
Yeah, and so when we did that, I mean, I was still so worried because I wasn't totally sold on on the co-sleeping. I was so worried and paranoid that I felt like I was waking myself up like every so often just to kind of like make sure that baby was good and everything like that. But we definitely like did a lot to set up our bed in a safe way to where like those accidents you hear about, like babies getting rolled over on and all that kind of stuff, couldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to go into like the details. You could just look up the safe sleep 7. Is that what you said?
Safe Sleep 7.
Yeah. And so we did all that stuff to make sure it was safe, and it worked because we got more sleep when we needed to, because we were at our wits end with that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that makes it really hard. So we did that up until like 3 or 4 months, until she did start like sleeping a little bit longer. And we also we like started having a bedtime, because when they're newborns, they really don't have bedtimes because they're going to be up every 2 or 3 hours throughout the night anyway. So all of the hours of the day and night are the same. So when she was like having a little bit longer of a stretch, and so we started a bedtime around 7 or 8 p.m. And so yeah, so then that's when we started transitioning her to her crib in her nursery.
Mm-hmm.
And that was emotional for me, because she's my little baby not in my room anymore, and I was sad, even though I knew I'd probably get like better sleep. And I wanted my bed back to where it was and not with like our whole arrangement. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was
The
sad.
idea of it was sad to me. Like, oh, our baby's going to be in a room alone by herself for, like a few hours or more. And that was like sad to me. But then once we actually moved her to the crib, I was like, actually, yeah, this is better.
Yeah. Well, and I transitioned like kind of slowly where,
Yeah,
like
we did.
I would put her down in her crib at night, and then when she did wake up in the night, then she would like come and bed share with us.
Yeah, I'd go like grab her, change her, and then bring her to you in bed. And then you'd like nurse her in bed, and then we'd co-sleep.
Yeah.
So we did half and half for a while.
Yeah. Oh, let me back up. So me being like, what was it, 4 weeks postpartum, and being completely drained and knowing really nothing about. Everyone's like, set up your sleep routine. I'm like, what does that mean? I did order a course. I did get the taking care of babies course, and I did like parts of that. I think it helped me because I didn't really know anything about it. And so it helped with like how to soothe her appropriately and like setting up, the space of like the sound machine, why you're doing that and why shushing really helps babies, and like the using a red light. I don't remember if it said that, but I do use a red light like on my hatch so I can still like see a little bit, but red is less awakening than like blue, so I use like red light for all of the things. But yeah, I did like that course, especially with like building those habits. But then once it got to like the 3 or 4 month, and there's methods on how to like wean off from the night sleeping, I didn't like do that to a T.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know you took a course. So
Yeah, I think I showed it to you.
you may have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you want to go into then, I guess, well, because the way her nursery is set up now, we still use like a red light for when
We
she's
use the sound
sleeping,
machine.
and we use a sound machine. It's white noise,
Mm-hmm.
which is really good. I think it drowns out any noise that we make out here,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of.
So
keeps
what
sleeping.
I've learned was like the shushing, like kind of noise, and like the sound machine, it replicates like the blood in the mom, like when they're pregnant, when mom's pregnant, baby's in the mom, and they hear like the blood rushing all the time. And so that's like kind of loud but soothing because it's familiar. And so that's why we shush babies, and that's why we use the sound machine, because it brings back that.
Yes, you did share that with me before.
Yeah, I thought that was cool information.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really make much sense, but even when she was like really little, like newborn infant, I didn't really know to shush her. I thought that was like, oh, okay, that's just really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you told me that, I was like, oh, it actually has a purpose. So then I
Yeah.
started doing it, and it worked. So.
Yeah, we aren't just being like rude and being like shush. It's like for a purpose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so at the beginning, I was really focused on trying to get her to sleep. Let me look.
And I think the number one thing the number one. Okay, I'm rephrase that. The thing is that the number one importance. I can't figure out how to say this.
Let me help you.
The top priority
Okay.
when it comes to like the sleep setup, whether that be co-sleeping or even in the nursery, is like their safety.
Okay.
So we even with the crib, we got like a sheet that's breathe through, and we don't put anything in the crib with her or that she could grab and suffocate on, all that kind of stuff. So we made sure like it was safe.
Yeah, except for I definitely had stuff in the crib with her before.
When
Well,
have you had stuff in the crib with her?
well,
It's always empty when I go in there. So
like when we put her in the crib, I would change the sheets all the time. So I put a little burp rag there because she would spit up all the time in there, and I was tired of changing the sheets. And I had stuffed animals because she never actually went to the sides. She couldn't even roll yet. And then
I don't think you had stuffed animals in there though.
Okay. And then right now she has a stuffed animal in there too.
She's got that little lamb now.
Yeah.
But like you didn't start doing that until like just very, very recently.
Yeah.
I don't remember stuffed animals ever being in there
Okay.
when she was sleeping. I do remember going in there a couple of times and there was like the burp cloth, but I thought those were like breathe through. So
yeah, they're like muslin, so yeah, they're more breathable.
yeah. So I was less worried about her suffocating on those.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a firm surface. Baby mattresses are supposed to be firm so that they don't suffocate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What else? What else did you want to share about our nursery?
Well, that kind of like derailed my topic, because I was going to talk about like safety and stuff like that in the setup,
Okay.
but apparently we don't follow that. So
we pretty much do. We didn't have once she like could move in her, and once she started rolling, it took everything out of her. I took everything out. So
Yeah, I thought everything was out already, so I don't remember that.
okay. So stuff I did learn when we're trying to get her to sleep would be like filling the tank throughout the day so that they don't need to fill the tank at night. So trying to get her to eat sufficiently throughout the day, nursing on demand, so that she hopefully doesn't need as much food throughout the night. And then other things we did, we took her to chiropractor appointments, and I think that really helped with her nervous system and calming her, because if she has anything out and it causes more stress on the body, that can definitely affect her sleep. Also, the feeding on demand, how we're trying to feed her as much throughout the day. Babies do tend to like cluster feed more in the late afternoons. So I was really letting her do that, and we would cluster feed a lot in the late afternoons and evenings. And so I think that that was helping, so that she didn't have to eat quite as much at night. But also keep in mind, if you're like trying to make dinner and all that, that was like really hard. So if you can plan dinners ahead of time or prep that, that can be really helpful. Sunshine in the morning, or sometime in the day can be really helpful, or some outside time just helps kind of reset that circadian rhythm and have that like sleep and wake cycle. And then the opposite of that, having like dim lights at night, and having kind of that setup of, okay, we're winding down, we're having that, so that it's time to go to sleep. A lot of people like baths every night. We started doing baths every night more when she started solids, but we were doing baths like every few nights before that. Do you want to add anything else, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I think routine is important.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's something for adults too. I think all the things mentioned besides, I mean, adults don't need baths before they go to bed, but routine is important. I think routine helps your body kind of wind down and like kind of prepare it for sleep and get in the mood for it, and like all those things that you just mentioned. But yeah, so I think that's something we've always tried to do. I think that can be easier said than done. Routine can be disrupted by different developmental stages that the kids can, that developmental like milestones that babies go through. So, I mean, whether they're like teething, crawling, going through growth spurts. I know that, we had a whole routine, but even through all that stuff, when she was just learning to crawl, she didn't want to go to sleep. She wanted to like exercise that freedom and that like, and just kind of explore that and stuff. And so it was hard to get her down, but routine is super important.
Yeah, I was going to get to that too. So I will say that as well. Yeah, routine is super important. Like you said, even for adults, even with my like functional medicine clients, and especially when we're talking about lifestyle and all of that, we're talking about energy, we're talking about sleep. I'm always asking, like, what does your wind down routine look like? How does your body know that it's going to go to sleep? Are you just scrolling on your phone until you go to sleep? Are you, thinking about work? Are you doing all this? Because that's going to affect how you're sleeping. So just like a baby, we need to, de-stress and have that routine, let our body know that we're going to sleep. Yeah. And then stress at night, especially like during the witching hour phase, we would take turns if we would get too stressed with her, because she's going to like feed off of our emotions too. So if one person was like with her for a while and getting like too wound up with it or getting frustrated, then we would like switch off. And I think that was really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think with that too, is like if you are needing to tap out and stuff with like sleep deprivation and stuff like that, it's really good to have a support system at home to take on, like to give you the help that you need in order to make sure that you are not extremely deprived of sleep so you can be a better parent and stuff, like whether that be like a friend to come and do a night in, like taking care of the baby and giving her a bottle at night, or your significant other, or like I think my mom's taken a night here and there. When your mom visited, she actually like stayed up with Danielle at night and just let us sleep through the night.
The best gift.
And so like I think that was super, super helpful when we were really sleep deprived at the beginning. And it does not mean you're a bad parent. It's I think it's really nice to have that kind of support system.
Yeah, we did like a night doula situation where my mom started, she's like, how can I help at night? And so I'm like, ooh, you can be like a night doula. I've heard about these, where basically Danielle slept in her bassinet out in the living room with my mom. And then whenever she'd wake up, my mom would like change her diaper and stuff and just like bring her to me. I would just nurse her, and then she would come get her and then put her to sleep. And so I didn't have to do anything else except for nurse her every few hours. And so that was way better than everything else, because sometimes when they're little, it's hard to like get them back to sleep and stuff too. So yeah, that was really helpful. Okay, and then back to my list of things that were helpful: keeping track of wake windows, so making sure she's like up enough throughout the day, but again, not like overtired and not skipping naps. That's like such a hard balance because we're not great at naps. And then milk. Oh yeah, this is cool too, which I just had a lactation counselor on my previous episode. So I really like this, that melatonin is in milk and cortisol is in milk. So at night there's more melatonin and the milk is more fatty, so it can help them go to sleep and stay asleep. And in the morning, cortisol is in the milk, which wakes them up, and there's more water content to help hydrate them from the night. So the milk is like different throughout the day. So if you're pumping, separating those milks, like labeling them AM and PM, can also be helpful with getting them to sleep.
That's just insane how the body works.
Right? It really is. So, yeah, because I think for a little bit, you were also giving her a bottle so I could like sleep a little bit here and there. And it was always like my morning milk, because you pump more in the morning, like you have more supply in the morning. So it would be morning milk that you're giving at night. And then I got in my head like, oh, that's probably keeping her up. So then we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's always reasons that they're not sleeping. So I feel like there's more times reasons that they're not sleeping well or that they're waking up throughout the night than times that they're actually sleeping throughout the night. Like you said, they could be growing, having a growth spurt. They could have a developmental leap, which I keep track from the Wonder Weeks app, which is really helpful. So I can like be like, oh, why isn't she sleeping? I can look at the app and be like, oh, she's developing this, so that's why. Just having her be lonely or missing us, that can be a reason. If she's teething, if she just plainly can't sleep because she's a human, and sometimes humans can't sleep all the time, and then sometimes it is hunger, but a lot of times not. And I'm nursing her kind of regardless because it's comforting to her, and not always because she's hungry. And that's how we do it. And some people might not nurse, and I think like breast milk versus formula is a little different in that too, where breast milk and nursing could be like more comforting. And if we were doing like formula and stuff, I think we would look to like other measures to try to soothe her at night rather than just giving her like food. So
yeah. Yep. Sometimes we though. Yeah. I think there's always going to be times or days where you're just like, I don't think she's teething. I don't know what it is. And she just won't go to sleep.
Yeah. And then so recently, this is the biggest thing for me. I've changed my mindset, which I kind of hate when people are like, just be fine with it. But I think it's really real, where I wish in the beginning I knew that babies just wake up throughout the night, and that's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with your baby, and they may wake up 1, 2, 3 times a night and it be fine. And as long as you're okay, mom and dad, and then the baby's okay. We personally did not want to do cry it out. I personally did not want to do cry it out. I didn't feel okay with that in my mommy heart. So we didn't do that. So when I say we sleep trained, I mean very, very gently. And she just like kind of got the hang of things. And we did the things I just listed, and we didn't really do cry it out ever. Now, I will say, like, sometimes we'll let her fuss and figure it out, but if she starts escalating, I'll go in there.
Yeah. Sometimes she'll wake up in the night and she'll be crying in her sleep, and we just kind of like, we're like, hold on, just wait. There have been times where I'm like, oh no, she's definitely awake, and I've stood up, but then all of a sudden she stopped crying, and you kind of watch the monitor, and she lays her head back down, and then she goes back to sleep. So yeah.
Yeah.
But typically if she starts like elevating her voice more and more, we're like, okay, yeah, we got to get her.
Yeah. And like, I always go to the bathroom in the night before I go and get her. So if she does go back to sleep, that can kind of like be a barrier where it gives her an extra minute to kind of figure it out. But yeah, if she's escalating, I will answer to her always.
Mm-hmm. But all in all, in summary, yeah, I think every night is a mystery, and you never know quite what you're going to get. And there are certain nights, like, I think when you work on Tuesdays, we usually expect, okay, she's not going to go to bed the first time. She always likes to stay up on Tuesday. And so there's something to that. But besides that, I think it can be kind of random. I mean, she's been having a lot more good nights lately, but it could be a random night out of the week where we did everything right, and everything was like very routine, and then she still is like, nope, I'm not gonna sleep.
And I will say, she grew out of the pajamas, but there were like certain pajamas where I'm like, you sleep the best in these, and I would be like, these are your lucky pajamas. So I put them in her a lot, because sometimes I get like that. But
You put them in her?
put her in them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm tired.
Yeah, no, low key though, I will say that sometimes, because I'm gone during the day and I'm working, when she does wake up, I get to see her longer, and she comes out all cuddly and like smiley, and so to me it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes I kind of enjoy it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Don't
you're
hate
like, okay, I just want to say goodnight to her right before she goes to sleep. And I will always say yes, because I do not want to take that away from you. And I think you both enjoy it. But I do think I'm like, she gets excited to see you. And then sometimes it gets like hard to put her to sleep. But I'm not going to say no to it either.
Well, sometimes she goes down like right as I'm getting home for work, and so I'm like, and I haven't seen her all day, so I want to say hi. But yeah, then I see you go, oh, okay. And then, and then it's like, she didn't go to bed after that. Oops.
Yeah, that's okay. We survive.
Yeah.
Sometimes she just comes and hangs out with us in the evening then.
Yeah, I think being more flexible with that it like has helped, just because, I mean, I don't think forcing a baby to sleep I don't know. For me, like, I don't think that really works. I mean, unless you're doing the cry out method, maybe that like does work for you, but because we haven't like sleep trained her that way, it's like she might as well just stay up with us for another hour, and then when she starts yawning and getting fussy, then we know, okay, it's time. You can go to bed.
And I've heard that even with the cry it out method, babies are still waking up. They're just not asking for you to come because they know you're not going to come. So they're not really getting much more sleep. I think what I heard is that they get like 8 minutes more sleep throughout the night than babies who don't do cry it out. And so they're not really getting more sleep. The parents are just getting more sleep because they can sleep throughout the night. The babies are still waking up, but they're not asking for help because they know that they're not going to get it. And to me, that's sad. For me.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
Yeah. But I can also see, like, when you're exhausted, you're like, you can figure it out. Because we've let her fuss a little bit when we're exhausted too.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, we're and no means experts. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that do it better than us.
Yeah.
Get their baby to sleep. And it can also just depend on the baby.
It can
Some people
definitely
have great baby sleepers, and some babies just don't want to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. And then, I think like breastfeeding versus formula feeding is different too, where formula doesn't digest as fast, where breast milk digests faster, so they might be up a little bit more too. I think that was, and then I think she has slept more nights since starting solids in general. But she had like this worst sleep regression ever when she was like 7 months old. So I don't know if that was a 6-month leap or the 8-month leap. I don't know, but that was the worst sleep regression ever.
Yeah. My buddy Judah, he texted me the other day and was like that. I don't know if it was like 3-month or 4-month sleep regression. He's like, we are going through it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, stay strong, brother.
You can make it to the other side.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
Yeah, I feel like every month there's like, you got to watch out for that sleep regression.
And is that sleep regression, is that because of a growth spurt, or like why does that first one happen again?
I think it's just a lot of developmental leaps.
Okay, yeah.
They're just learning a lot at that time, so their brain is trying to figure out that, whether that's, crawling, rolling, whatever that is at the time. And so their brain wants to do that rather than sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what I keep on saying in every like podcast episode is like, as soon as you get like a routine done or you think you got it figured out, they go through some kind of other developmental like milestone, and
you get humbled real fast.
And then it's just like right back to you're learning how to cope with whatever they've learned how to do, and it changes everything. So
yeah. Yep. And I should maybe have like a sleep person on the pod where I can interview them and get more insight from an actual expert. But yeah,
I'm sure there's like specifics on like how early before bed should you feed them, or should you feed them right before bed, or like just different things.
Yeah. And
I'm sure there's like probably a healthiest recipe for sleep.
Yeah, whether that has to do with food or anything else. And like you said, like all babies are different too. So yeah.
Yeah. Like how many naps should they get in a day, or how long should they nap for each nap? Can that affect their sleep at night? I don't know. Yeah. A lot of stuff we don't know.
We're lucky if we get naps. So we get good naps. Yeah. So we're not pushing that. Anyway, I think that's pretty much our journey on sleep, right?
Yep. Take it or leave it.
Yep. Your baby's not broken if they're not sleeping 12 hours throughout the night. I think she does pretty good.
But you might be broken.
Okay.
In spirit, not
in spirit. No, she does pretty good. Like, to me, within a 12-hour span, waking up 1 or 2 times, to me, I can handle that.
Yeah. And you've done a pretty good job picking up like the duties at night and stuff as I've gone back to work more. So appreciate you for that.
Thanks. Her nursery is like the other side of the house from our bedroom. So yeah, it's sometimes a trek, but it's okay. It's just kind of how our houses look modeled. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Luckily, our house is not that big. It's not like she's like in the West Wing.
Yeah, we're not those kind of people.
People.
We're not like influencers. We're just normal people with a normal house.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you have anything else to say?
No, I think we can finish up.
All right.
But you need your dad joke.
Want to hear a dad joke? Okay.
Yeah.
You ready for this one?
Yep.
It's a doozy.
Okay.
All right. Do you know why babies born on holidays are more than likely to be girls?
No.
Because there's no mail delivery on holidays.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's a wrap.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much for listening to my podcast, Functional Medicine for Moms. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss one, leave a quick 5-star review, and share it with your mom friends who love it too. I'm Kelly with a background as a pharmacist and training in functional medicine. I help women move past fatigue, brain fog, gut issues, and hormone struggles so they can thrive in everyday life or prepare for a healthy pregnancy. Through lab testing, personalized supplements, and functional medicine coaching, I help you feel better, faster, naturally. Want to connect more? Head over to molinmethod.com or come hang out with me on Instagram and YouTube at Functional Medicine for Moms. On my site, you can order professional grade supplements at my discount or book a free discovery call if you'd like to see how we can work together on your health. This podcast is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Always talk to your provider before making changes to your health plan. And remember, healthy moms raise healthy families. Catch you next time. New episodes released every Wednesday.